So, life will present you two choices. You can decide between either one of those, but the decision in the end is yours. And so, the first choice which you can choose is that you will go on to self improvement. You will embark on the journey of self improvement. Whereas the second choice is that you won't. You will live a normal life, a life of normal human beings, nowadays at least. And so I'm not going to discuss the second option, and I will only discuss the first option, so that you will go onto the journey of self-improvement. And when you go onto the journey, one thing can happen, and that is, at least when you will go full on, like 100% onto that journey. And so that thing which can happen is that you won't be able to live without being on self-improvement. Like, whenever you will start going back towards your bad habits, towards what you were used to doing in the past, and you wanted to improve that, and you didn't want to do those things, yet you still are doing them once in a while, you relapse once in a while, and so on. Sometimes you even have like periods of time when you are technically your old self, you do all the bad habits for a week or two, or maybe even a month. And so what isn't really talked about in the self-improvement niche is the fact that once you embark on the journey of self-improvement and you have to go 100% in, then that one thing which can happen is that you won't be able to live without self-improvement. So like that period, as I mentioned, that 1 month maybe, when you won't be doing any self-improvement habits, or you will do all the bad habits which you don't want to do, will make you suffer so much that you will sometimes maybe even regret the fact that you have embarked on the journey of self-improvement. And it's not really talked about. That's why I wanted to make this video, that self-improvement isn't all, I don't know, roses and shining, I don't know, angels, sunrises and so on. It's not only all the good stuff, it actually has all the negative stuff as well, and it's most of the time connected to the responsibility of you actually being on the journey. Like, as I mentioned, it can always happen that you will sometimes relapse, you will do something you don't want to do, or something you said you wouldn't do, yet you still do it sometimes. It can happen, we fall sometimes, but the point is to get back up. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. So it can happen, and once it happens, and usually it happens most of the time when you have like longer periods of that time. In my previous video I mentioned my hell week, which was before my school leaving exams and a bit during them, and it is somewhat connected to that. That basically when I was doing all the bad habits which I didn't want to do, I wasn't progressing with the good ones which I wanted to improve, which I wanted to work on. My brain started to torture me with thoughts, with feelings, with emotions of negativity, of pessimistic views of life and everything, just because I wasn't following, or I wasn't taking the steps to move forward in my self-improvement journey. So just to briefly summarize, like the main point of this video is that basically when you embark on the journey of self-improvement, and yes, there are periods when you don't follow your habits, you don't do the habits which you want to do, then one thing can happen, and it's the fact that you might even regret that you basically got onto self-improvement. Because when you didn't know about self-improvement, you weren't on it in any sort of way, then when you were playing games or doing some sort of a bad habit, you didn't feel anything bad. You actually felt great. There wasn't any negative thoughts about what you were doing at that moment. Whereas right now, when you know about self-improvement, you know what it is, you even embarked on it, then you will only go through torture, through negative feelings, negative thoughts about yourself whenever you don't do what you want to be doing, or you are doing like all the instant gratification habits which you didn't want to do. Like, it can always happen, but we have to think of it as the part of the journey, because we always can fall, but we have to get back up. And even if you want to leave or want to like quit being on self-improvement, you have to take into consideration the fact that the life on self-improvement is 100% better. Like, you wouldn't want to go back. And the fact that we feel bad about ourselves whenever we do something we don't want to be doing, then it's actually like a gold in disguise. Like, it's something that is actually great for us, because since we are feeling bad about what we are doing, since we are feeling bad about the situation that we can find ourselves in, then it's actually great, because discomfort is what makes us grow. And whenever we feel discomfort, we want to leave that situation. And so when you are doing instant gratification habits, whenever you are, to make a specific example, whenever you are playing a game, then you will feel horrible about doing it, because you know you are on self-improvement, you know that you can do better stuff than that. And that's actually like a great thing, because since you are feeling that discomfort, you will try to improve your situation. And so in that case, it's probably stopping the game and doing something more productive. And so hopefully you can take this lesson whenever you have the feeling of quitting self-improvement. Think of it as part of the journey, and whenever you relapse and you feel horrible, then be grateful for that, because that will only drive you to move away or escape the situation. And so you will try to improve the habits that you are doing, stop playing games, as I mentioned in the example, that when we are feeling discomfort, it's actually one of the best feelings that we can feel. At the moment of discomfort, we feel horrible. It's one of the worst feelings that you can have, yet it's also something that drives us forward. And so if you like this video, if you thought it was valuable, or if you have any questions, you can comment something down below. And if you think you can learn, or if you want to learn something else, then you can watch this video next.